Okay, guys, I'm going to walk you through number 23 from section 6.2. So what you want to do first is read the equation and use the information given to set up two equations. Okay, you have to read the information carefully. So it says adult tickets cost 22, so we know that. Children's cost 15. Tickets for a group of 11 cost a total of 228. Well, so far we don't have, you can't go like 11 equals 228. But you do know that if X equals adult tickets and Y equals kid tickets, that the number of adult versus the number of kids should equal a total of 11 tickets. So that's the first equation you can set up. Then we also know that the total amount made, generated from selling the tickets, was $228. And we still know that both adults and kids bought tickets. We also know how much each adult and each kid ticket cost. So we know that a combination of X, a number of X tickets purchased, plus a number of Y tickets purchased is going to equal 228. And we also know the cost of those tickets. So we can go 22 is the cost. So 22 is the cost times the number of adult tickets plus 15 times the number of youth tickets or child tickets should give us a total of 228. So now we have equation A and equation B. This is what you need. So once you have this part set up, you've pretty much done the problem, okay? You just have to read it carefully and realize what you know. You don't know that if you sell 11 tickets, it's going to get $228. That's not what you know. You know you sold 11, and you know that a special combination of children and adult tickets equals 228. So these are the two things you know. So then you want to look at what you know, and you want to use one of the equations to solve for a variable, and that would be either X or Y. So we're going to solve for X, okay? So we're going to look at this one. That's the easiest one. Work with the most simple equation when you're trying to create a value for X. And so all we end up with is X equals 11 minus Y. How do we get that? Well, you just go X. You want to isolate the X, so you're going to subtract this Y from both sides. So when you subtract Y from this side, it eliminates it, and you're left with 11 minus Y. Okay? So now that you have that value, you used equation 1 to come up with a value for X. Now let's sub our value for X into equation B. In equation B, I'm just calling it that. Cozy, please stop tearing if you can. Is your second equation. So you decided, or we decided, that X would equal 11 minus Y. We're just going to take that. Wherever you see X in the original equation, you're going to substitute this new value for this letter right there. Okay? So here, when we substitute it, we end up with 22 instead of 22 times X. Now we have 22 times 11 minus Y, plus 15Y equals 228. So it's the exact same equation, except instead of X right here, you have the new value we just created. Then you are going to combine, use the distributive property to multiply. 22 times 11 is 242. 22 times Y is negative 22Y, plus 15Y equals 228. In this row, think a minute, what do you see we did in this row? How did we get from this to this? We combined like terms, okay? When you combine like terms, we combined 15Y and 22Y, and we got negative 7Y. So now look at this next row. How are we going to get from negative 7Y plus 242 equals 228? What do we need to do now? We're working on isolating the whole thing. I think, sorry guys, stop there a second. Okay, so we're at least that was probably good for a laugh. We're working on isolating this Y like we always do. So you have to ask, how can we get the negative 7 away from it? Right here, I'm sorry, right here. After we combined like terms, we got negative 7Y. So it's still not simple enough. We're working on isolating this Y, so we're going to have to move this 242. So if we subtract 242 from both sides, we are left with negative 7Y equals negative 14. And this now looks pretty familiar to you. You're going to divide by negative 7 both sides, and you get Y equals 2. Once you get to this part, you're home run. Y equals 2. Now you just plug your new discovered value for Y back into equation B. That was this one. And you will discover that X plus 2 equals 11. So now we put 2 in for Y. You can easily solve by subtracting 2 on both sides, and you get X equals 9. So the answer is they sold 9 adult tickets and 2 kid tickets. So I will send you this video, and then I'm also sharing this Google Doc with you.